Well, hey, guitar learners, let's take a quick look at the song Open Up the Heavens. Our church does it in the key of D, and so that's what this tutorial will be about. So at the beginning of the song and in a lot of the interludes, there is a set of octaves that gets played, and it starts on the A string, 9th fret. And so as far as an octave goes, that means I'm also using my ring finger on the G string, just 2 frets higher. So here's what that intro sounds like. So if your church is playing with a click, or perhaps you have a drummer who's stick clicking you in, the amount of times that gets played before landing on the 1 does certainly matter. So I typically come right in on a beat 3. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3. So there's certainly more than one way to play that, but if you're kind of following along with my songs or my tutorials, it's starting on beat 3. That way I land right on that bottom note on the 1. So that typically gets played through twice, that full progression twice, and then into verse 1. So I dial back the overdrive and just kind of dial everything down. And sometimes I even do swells with the volume pedal to get into verse 1. And so you can certainly play verse 1 however you like. Some people want it to be more rhythmic. I typically play it pretty quietly with some swells. Then into the pre-chorus, that's where another kind of lead part begins. And so depending on where your chords are on the neck, I tend to be right about here. And I sometimes switch back to the neck pickup. And so on that B string, that's where this lead line hangs out mostly. I just slide right up to the 14th fret. And then to the 12th. Down to the 10th. Up to the 14th. Then up to the 15th. And then on the high E, it's the 17th fret. So you're the reason we're here. You're the reason we're singing. And then I do tend to stay on the really high inversions. So of course this is the same D as the general positioning of D, but all the way up here on the 14th and 15th frets for the first part of the chorus. And then on the 15th fret of the high E and the B string, that's the G chord. Then back pretty much to another D shape, but it's the B minor high E on the 14th fret and the B string on the 15th fret for the B minor. And then for the A, I just use my index finger to bar across the 14th fret of the B string and the G string. You can include the D string if you want. And then in that chorus, I do hit the D to finish the word praise, but right after that goes into the progression of the octaves again for the interlude. Now, if you do hit that D to end praise, you've taken up that first kind of progression of the 9-7-5. So you're only going to do that one time before going back to 9-7-10. So let's finish out that chorus. Flowing from your heart. Into verse 2, that's where I definitely play a little more rhythmic pieces, maybe some bar chords even in there, and just a general kind of so just kind of a general kind of driving rhythmic piece there. And then it goes right back into that same pre-chorus. So the chorus does get played twice there. And so on the repeat through, right, you're kind of on that D to finish the word praise. Every part of our praise. Open up the heavens. So you do have to kind of move really quickly from a portion of that interlude. So going through the 9, 7, 5, and then 9, 7, back up to your D to start the chorus on Open Up the Heavens again. So I've seen different guitarists play that part differently. The first half of the bridge, I usually don't play anything, but you certainly could do a rhythmic. But the part where it gets interesting for me is on the second half of the bridge. I start in with the G and the B strings mostly, and it bounces from 7 on the G string up to 10 on the B string. And then on the high E, 9, 10. Show us your glory. Show us your power. Show us your glory. So there is kind of a long hang on that D at the end of that, especially in this particular recording. It just hangs out on that D shape. I use an inversion. And then I start the 9-7-5, 9-7-10 progression, and it does go through that twice. And then that takes you to those last 2 choruses, and that's the song. So go check out that playthrough. Use this if it helps you. Good luck out there.